before it closes.
Yes.
New camera person.
All right, for those just viewing the in-progress meeting, this is the Fairhaven Planning Board meeting of September 13th, 2016. We have been underway now for
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes, and I apologize for that. The meeting was gavelled to order, and it didn't get communicated upstairs. We have no way of directly communicating other than running upstairs, but the meeting was gavelled. We have done everything procedurally correct, and we're in process with a permit for the Mellow project on 232 Huddleston Avenue. This is a special permit, and at this point, where board members are asking questions of the applicant, at this time, any other? Sure.
Concerning that fence, at the last meeting, the abutter, Mr. Almeida, was present, and there was a discussion, and it seemed like you were, I just wondered, I don't even know if we can ask this yet, was there, any communication with him about what the proposal is here, or is he even here?
It sounded to me like he wanted a wooden fence.
Okay,
I mean, but he actually was looking for something a little taller. I don't know what the height requirements are.
Well, once you get over 6 feet, it becomes a structure.
Yeah.
So
this is kinda what,
it really increases the
If I can get
cost,
a variance.
and you may need a variance.
Yeah, that's why I'm. The
But there was
code
a berm
really needs to
proposed.
keep you at 6
Is
feet.
it 1 foot berm, I believe?
right,
Can we
so there's
go
a
up
1
with
foot
a
berm.
Berm maybe for him, or
Yep.
Say that again?
can we give him a little bit more of a berm maybe?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the height requirement starts at whatever finished grade you set, so.
Yeah.
However, if you start creating another situation which looks out of character,
I wanna go with whatever the town.
yeah.
I think engineering wise, I think to get to a 2-foot berm, you're gonna have to go out your toe of your slope and it's gonna go into your, it's gonna,
But there is a 1 foot berm, so I mean.
well,
it's-
1 foot berm with a 6-foot fence, that gets him 7
Right.
feet, he wanted 8, but
I just wanted to know if
Halfway.
there
Yeah.
was, if the abutter, obviously he could have been, he's not here tonight, I don't think.
I haven't opened it up yet to
Okay,
the
I just
public.
wondered, so there was, that was his concern, and I just wanted to double check that.
So, can we get it on the record then, that it will be a wooden fence? Is that,
I guess, yeah, I mean, that's what he has now, and I remember when he was talking, that's what he said similar to
Right.
what he had.
Right.
So we'll do a wooden fence.
sounds good.
and we can, that
Could I
can be
condition?
revised when they add the lighting.
A little later.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Ewing can, I'm sure he's taking notes mentally at least, that can be
Says he
added
is.
on the note,
Or we can do it
on the
now.
plan when you revise the lighting, because if you do that, then some of these conditions go away.
Well, let me ask at this time then, would all the board members be in favor of a wooden fence?
Yep.
Wooden privacy fence.
All right.
That's
And the applicant, so let's just say that that's already voted on, or
Okay.
it's acknowledged by the board. It's cleaner if it states it right on the finished plans, that it
Right.
says what it is, okay.
Thank you.
And that just extends to roughly the edge of his property?
Yes.
Seems like it.
And the one thing that it shows going all the way to the property line. And Al, you probably are gonna have to talk with Wayne or look at the code. The fence probably has to come back. There's a certain
Setback.
site distance.
Yeah.
There's a certain site distance that you're gonna have to come back.
I don't think
there's
you,
a problem, I mean, as far as Mr. Almeida, he was more concerned with it going beyond his garage, so that he would, so I mean,
Property line.
yeah, you can't put a 6-foot fence up,
Right up to
To
the
the-
edge
to the
of
right
the
of way.
property line, to
I'm sure
the,
Mr. Ewing knows.
to the curb. You know, obviously, it's not the curb, but, this is, so you're gonna wanna talk with Wayne and figure out from your property line, how far back before the fence actually
But to
starts.
me, as soon as you are able to get to the 6-foot, the better.
Yeah, I think it's 42 inches or,
You can't be within the required front setback.
right,
It's gotta be 30 or 42 in the,
42,
and I've seen people have to take fences down because they went 6
Right.
feet.
benches and hedges.
yeah.
Well,
We-
they have that part of the fence that goes, slopes up to your 6 feet, so you can get that one piece that goes right down.
Yeah,
And a lot of people have that towards the end.
so just be cognizant of that. We'll have to,
yeah, no problem.
and we can just note that on the plan.
Okay. Ms. Richard, anything else?
I'm all set, thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Sir,
I
Mr.
have a few,
Florent.
I have a few comments and concerns and things I'd like to address today. I find this application extremely challenging. It's probably one of the most difficult applications I've looked at since I've been on this board. Clearly, it's an industrial application that would fit extremely well in our industrial zone. And if this was an industrial zone, I would take absolutely no issues at all and would be wholeheartedly supportive behind it. But because of where the location that this application is trying to install, it brings up a lot of concerns that I have for the welfare and livelihood of Fairhaven and its citizens. Unfortunately, a lot of these development was done planning board and bylaws and other types of regulations. So this town is extremely, a lot of businesses that all come straight on to Route 6 and busy intersections. And I see that in this situation. I've actually walked the property a couple of times, drove around it many, many times. I can't tell you, I put hours into this already and feel confident some things I'm about ready to address. Within 100 yards, we have the following businesses. You have Austin Street, which has 12 businesses, plus the DPW headquarters and our sewer treatment plant. Across the street, you have Stop and Shop, which also has four businesses in it, with a senior center and a rec center. On Narragansett Boulevard, there's 5 businesses in that location. So we're looking at a total of 21 businesses, not including the new applicant's 8 locations that he wants to address, with a sewer treatment plant, senior center, and rec center. So I feel that there's undue stress that'll be put into that intersection with this new addition. We're looking at a 8-unit business condo, which clearly our bylaws talks about. It's an industrial zone type application. We're trying to put it in a commercial district that, to me, is geared and oriented toward businesses. I find a huge distraction to the other businesses in that area, or any other type of businesses that may want to come in there that would be more to the likelihood of what the Fairhaven residents are looking for. When you talked about the landscaping itself, on the west side, there's a few deciduous trees that we all know in the wintertime loses their canopy. And most of the canopy is above 8 to 10 feet. So most of the, where the view would be obstructed isn't really there. And the vegetation, the low vegetation is nothing but briars and thickets that could easily, with a small amount of disturbance, deteriorate and go away. So that obstruction would clearly be gone. The north side of the property is opened into a residential neighborhood, so we're putting an industrial type application right next to a residential neighborhood.
Let me stop you for a moment. Sir, are you recording the meeting? If you are, you have to tell me, that's all. Okay, we are recording it, so I don't have a big problem, I just wanted to know. Okay, I'm sorry, continue.
And on the east side is a family residence. Although he hasn't made a lot of objections to it, I'm sure he's not really overly happy to have something like this come right next to him. I just can imagine what it's going to do to his property once the structure goes in. Then on the south side, very little coverage that I can see from the applicant's drawings here that will obstruct the view to the people traveling in Fairhaven along Route 6 or visitors coming to our town. I look at who's been supporting this application here. And what I see is the applicant himself, which I clearly understand because he's a businessman, he wants to make some money, and I don't fault him for that because that's my objective in my life too. The person who's selling it, so there's a financial gain for that person, and the real estate agent. I don't hear any other folks besides 3 parties who have a vested interest in this group. One of the other things that I'm extremely concerned about is we've looked at this before. It's a landscaping business that's going to be moving in there. That's only one of 8 units that we're going to know what's going in there. And that one unit that we know is going to be occupied has a high likelihood of having bulk material being stored there. Landscaping companies many times need fertilizer. I don't know if people realize this, but fertilizer is a very volatile material that can lead to a disastrous situation. He says he's presently running his business in his home, where he has a stored bulk material and fertilizers. I clearly understand why he doesn't leave his business or where it is in Rochester, why he wants to move it here to Fairhaven. So that's many of my concerns that I have, and And there's a lot of things that would have to change. I don't know if we could change enough in order to be fully supportive of this, and that's my feelings at this point in time, unless there's some different,
Mr. Chairman, may I say something?
Yes, you may, Kathy Malinsky.
Okay. Mr. Florent said that there's nobody here supporting them other than themselves. There's nobody here arguing the fact either, other than that neighbor who just wanted a fence. He's gonna put in a fence. I don't see that, these people have now changed this plan several times. They've answered all our questions. They've answered all Mr. Roth's questions. They got everything that they're supposed to have. Now we're telling them that maybe the neighbor, even though he only wanted a fence, might be mad. Well, he isn't, because he's not here. And no other neighbors came out. And I've driven that highway several times, back and forth. I've never had a problem with the people from Stop and Shop, Flower Girls, Walgreens. I've never had a problem on that stretch of road. And I'll be happy to see a business like that move into this town. We seem to want to scare people away. I get it that they have to follow the rules. And I absolutely would say you have to follow the rules. But they have. Why can't we just say, you followed the rules, when we have a full quorum here, we'll vote on it, you changed everything we wanted you to change. Why do we have to make it sound like the person down the road might be unhappy, or this person might be happy, or 10 years from now, he might put 10 pounds of fertilizer on there, not 8? Why do we always have to make it more than what it really is? I know, going forward, we're doing the master plan, we are gonna worry about the town. That's why we're doing the master plan. But let's not make a mountain out of a molehill. There's nothing wrong here. They've done everything. They've been so cooperative. And I think that's what we want, people that will be cooperative with not only this board, but the whole town. I think they did a great job, and I would be definitely for a business like that moving into this town. I guess that's it.
Okay, I'm not gonna get involved in the discussion other than to say that the use, under the use regulation table in the town of Fairhaven, whether you agree or don't agree, is an allowed use in the commercial district, but it is a stipulation that you require a special permit. So it's not allowed by right. The applicant is here under a special permit application. I'm trying to address the concerns that I have about the project. I still have a few things I think that we're not making a decision tonight, but while we're on this discussion, I do have reservation about what could go in there afterwards. For example, and just so you know, the planning board cannot exert its authority of control over the site once we issue the permit. Once it's signed and recorded, it's a done deal. And right now, we have no stipulations on what could go in there. For example, if we had a application further up the street, similar in nature, where one of the uses was for a home heating fuel. Unfortunately, it was located in the Nascatucket River Basin District. This isn't, but I would still have some concerns with that kind of bulk storage. So I know in my mind, I'm trying to think of a way, and it isn't easy, but, because the time to control it is during the special permit. Once you have all those unknowns in the future, anything could go in there. So let me think about that a little bit and see if I can come up with something that's agreeable to everybody at some point for my vote. I think I want some assurances that we're not going to get something that's just totally inappropriate. And